The Border Collie, intelligence shaped by endless fields. They did not breed this dog for beauty, they bred it for brilliance. And in doing so, they created one of the most intense minds in the canine world. To understand the Border Collie, we must travel to the windswept borderlands between Scotland and England, where rolling hills stretch toward the horizon and sheep scatter across vast, uneven terrain that demands vigilance, endurance, and constant decision-making from both shepherd and dog. Because this breed was not shaped in comfort or confinement, it was shaped in motion. For centuries, shepherds in these rugged regions relied on agile herding dogs capable of managing large flocks across open countryside with minimal direct supervision. The terrain was unpredictable, weather conditions shifted rapidly, sheep moved instinctively, often resisting direction. A dog that hesitated or lost focus could cost a farmer time, resources, and livelihood. Out of that necessity, a very specific type of dog began to emerge. These early herding dogs were selected not for uniform appearance, but for working ability that could be observed and measured in real time. Could the dog gather scattered sheep efficiently? Could it respond instantly to whistles and verbal cues? Could it maintain intense eye contact with livestock, applying psychological pressure rather than physical force to guide movement? This ability, later referred to as the eye, became one of the Border Collie's defining characteristics. A strong-eyed dog could control sheep with subtle posture and unwavering focus, lowering its body, fixing its gaze, and influencing direction through calculated presence rather than chaotic barking or biting. It was a dance of tension and release, instinct and training. In the late 19th century, a dog named Old Hemp would come to redefine the breed's trajectory. Old Hemp was not flashy. He did not rely on aggression. Instead, he demonstrated quiet authority, moving sheep with calm precision and minimal noise. Observers noted his natural instinct, responsiveness, and strategic approach to herding. He became the foundation of countless breeding programs, and his genetic influence spread widely across the region. Unlike many breeds shaped by kennel clubs and aesthetic standards, the Border Collie was molded primarily through performance trials organized by shepherding communities. These competitions evaluated real working ability under practical conditions. Success meant efficiency, control, stamina, and intelligent decision-making. Form followed function. Lean bodies allowed speed across hills. Light frames supported endurance over long distances. Sharp minds processed commands delivered by whistle signals that carried across valleys. But what truly set the Border Collie apart was not simply obedience. It was initiative. A skilled Border Collie does not wait passively for every instruction. It anticipates movement, reads livestock behavior, and adjusts position dynamically while remaining deeply attuned to its handler's intent. That balance between independence and responsiveness is rare and extraordinarily powerful. As agriculture modernized and flock management methods evolved, the Border Collie's reputation spread beyond rural Britain. Shepherds in Australia, New Zealand, and North America recognized the breed's unmatched herding efficiency and began importing dogs to strengthen their own working lines across continents. The Border Collie proved adaptable to new climates and terrains while retaining its core intelligence and drive. But with growing recognition came new interest from outside traditional farming communities. By the 20th century, dog enthusiasts began noticing not only the breed's work ethic, but also its astonishing problem-solving ability. Border Collies excelled in obedience competitions, agility trials, and later in canine sports designed to test speed, coordination, and cognitive responsiveness. Studies examining canine intelligence often placed the Border Collie at or near the top, highlighting its capacity to learn complex commands, distinguish between numerous object names, and adapt rapidly to new tasks. Yet intelligence alone does not define this breed's identity. It is the intensity behind that intelligence. The Border Collie was engineered to think continuously, to remain alert for hours, to process environmental variables without mental fatigue in a working field. That intensity becomes a masterpiece of coordination between human and dog. But in modern domestic life, without structured outlets, that same intensity can become overwhelming. The Border Collie's story is not merely one of brilliance. It is one of precision shaped by necessity. And And as the world changes, the question becomes whether that precision can thrive outside the endless fields that first demanded it. As the Border Collie's reputation for extraordinary intelligence spread far beyond the hills of Britain, its identity began expanding into arenas that its earliest shepherding ancestors could never have imagined. Yet every new role still drew from the same core design forged in open fields and relentless responsibility. In traditional herding environments, a Border Collie might work hundreds of sheep across vast acreage, responding to a complex vocabulary of whistles that signaled direction, pace, and distance, often operating so far from the handler that visual cues became nearly invisible, leaving sound and instinct as the only connection. This demanded not just speed, but judgment. A dog had to know when to apply pressure and when to ease off, when to widen its outrun to avoid startling livestock, and when to narrow its approach to prevent escape routes, all while conserving energy for hours of sustained effort. That mental calibration became deeply embedded in the breed's genetic architecture. When organized sheepdog trials formalized these skills into competitive events, judges evaluated not appearance, but efficiency, responsiveness, and control under real working conditions, reinforcing the principle that performance defined value. But as industrialization reduced the need for large-scale flock management in certain regions, fewer Border Collies were required strictly for agricultural labor. At the same time, urban and suburban populations were growing, and with them came a new fascination with canine performance sports that highlighted agility, obedience, and trick training. The Border Collie adapted seamlessly to these environments, often dominating competitions with breathtaking speed and precision, weaving through obstacle courses, launching over jumps, and executing complex routines with an intensity that seemed almost mechanical in its accuracy. Spectators were captivated, trainers were astonished, and the public began viewing the Border Collie as the ultimate symbol of canine intelligence. However, beneath the applause lay a subtle shift in breeding focus. Some programs continued prioritizing pure working ability, maintaining lines that excelled in sheepdog trials and real farm labor, preserving strong herding instinct and endurance. Others began selecting for traits that suited sport environments or companion lifestyles, occasionally softening working intensity or emphasizing trainability in non-herding contexts. This divergence did not immediately fracture the breed, but it introduced variation in drive levels and temperament across different lines. Meanwhile, scientific research further elevated the Border Collie's reputation. Studies examining vocabulary recognition revealed individuals capable of learning the names of dozens, even hundreds of objects, retrieving them on command with remarkable consistency. Neurological investigations suggested heightened problem-solving capabilities compared to many other breeds, reinforcing the perception that this was a dog with exceptional cognitive bandwidth. But intelligence without structure can create instability. The Border Collie's mind is not designed for idleness. It is designed for engagement. When provided daily tasks, training sessions, and meaningful outlets, the breed often displays extraordinary emotional balance and responsiveness. When confined without purpose, however, its mental energy seeks alternative expression. Repetitive behaviors, compulsive motion, excessive fixation on moving objects, or heightened sensitivity to environmental stimuli can emerge when the dog's innate need for work remains unmet. This is not misbehavior in the traditional sense. It is misalignment between design and lifestyle. As suburban households embrace the Border Collie for its intelligence and athleticism, some owners underestimated the intensity that keeps such a mind fulfilled, leading to frustration on both sides of the leash. Rescue organizations began reporting surrendered Border Collies described as too smart. At the same time, in rural landscapes where livestock still roamed, working-line Border Collies continued performing with quiet excellence, proving that the original blueprint remained intact when matched with appropriate purpose. And here the tension deepens. The Border Collie is celebrated globally as the most intelligent of dogs. Yet that intelligence is inseparable from its historical function. It was never meant to entertain casually. It was meant to manage complexity. The question now is whether modern environments can consistently provide the complexity this breed requires, or whether popularity will gradually reshape its defining traits into something more diluted, more manageable, and perhaps less extraordinary. Because brilliance, when misunderstood, can become burden. And the Border Collie's story is moving steadily toward that crossroads. The deeper we examine the Border Collie's rise from remote farmland to global recognition, the clearer it becomes that its greatest strength has always been inseparable from its greatest vulnerability. This is not simply a dog that learns quickly, it is a dog that anticipates. In working environments, anticipation is everything. A shepherd cannot issue instructions for every unpredictable shift in a flux movement, especially when sheep scatter across uneven ground or react suddenly to weather, predators, or terrain changes. The Border Collie was bred to read those shifts before they became problems, adjusting position with fluid precision, calculating angles and distances in real time while remaining tethered to its handler's broader intention. That level of cognitive engagement requires extraordinary neural stamina. Unlike breeds developed primarily for guarding or companionship, the Border Collie's mind rarely powers down completely when awake. It scans, it assesses, it waits for direction or opportunity. And when direction is absent, it often creates its own focus. This is where the conflict intensifies in modern contexts. In a rural setting with daily livestock work, the dog's hyper-awareness is an asset. In a densely populated suburban environment filled with bicycles, passing cars, running children, and constant motion, that same hyper-awareness can become overstimulation. A Border Collie may attempt to herd joggers, fixate on moving shadows, or display behaviors to organize motion in a world that does not require it. Owners sometimes interpret this as stubbornness or anxiety. In reality, it is instinct seeking structure. The breed's celebrated intelligence amplifies this challenge, because a dog that learns commands rapidly also learns environmental patterns rapidly. If boundaries are inconsistent, the Border Collie notices. If training sessions lack clarity, it adapts its own interpretation. If energy is not channeled constructively, it finds outlets independently. And independence without guidance can drift into compulsive tendencies. This is not a flaw in the breed. It is the consequence of a mind engineered for constant responsibility. At the same time, responsible working breeders have fought diligently to preserve the integrity of herding lines, resisting pressures to dilute instinct for the sake of convenience. In sheepdog trials across the United Kingdom, Australia, and North America, modern Border Collies still perform breathtaking outruns that span hundreds of yards, circling wide arcs to gather sheep with strategic patience before guiding them calmly toward handlers. Observers often describe these performances as choreography, but it is more than choreography. It is communication across distance, built on trust and mutual awareness refined through centuries of partnership. However, as companion-focused breeding increases, dogs bredables are emerging in some lines. Dogs bred primarily for sport or pet homes may exhibit softer herding instinct or reduced endurance compared to traditional working stock. While this can make them more manageable for certain households, it raises questions about long-term preservation of the breed's defining characteristics. Because the Border Collie was never meant to be average. It was meant to be exceptional, within a very specific domain. The modern celebration of canine intelligence often isolates cognitive feats, vocabulary recognition, puzzle-solving ability, agility, speed, without acknowledging the historical framework that shaped those abilities. Intelligence in the Border Collie is not decorative, it is functional. Remove the function, and intelligence becomes restless energy searching for purpose. Rescue networks and behavior specialists increasingly emphasize the importance of structured outlets such as advanced obedience, scent work, agility training, or controlled herding experience to prevent psychological stagnation. When these outlets are provided, the breed thrives with extraordinary enthusiasm. When they are absent, tension accumulates quietly, sometimes manifesting as reactivity or compulsive behaviors that confuse unprepared owners. The emotional peak of the Border Collie's story lies here, in the recognition that brilliance demands stewardship. A mind shaped by endless fields cannot be confined without consequence. A breed refined for decision-making under pressure cannot be expected to disengage effortlessly in environments lacking defined roles. The Border Collie stands as one of the clearest examples of how selective breeding can sculpt not only physical form but cognitive intensity. And as modern lifestyles drift further from agricultural roots, the question grows sharper. Will we continue honoring the conditions that created this brilliance? Or will popularity slowly smooth away the very edges that made it extraordinary? The climax of the Border Collie story is not found in a trophy, a televised agility final, or even in the flawless execution of a championship sheepdog trial. It is found in a single moment of alignment. A handler raises a whistle. A dog hundreds of yards away shifts direction instantly. No leash connects them, no fence confines them. Only trust, instinct, and shared language hold that invisible line steady across open land. That is the essence of the Border Collie. Not speed alone, not intelligence alone, but disciplined connection between mind and purpose. For generations, this breed was refined under one unwavering principle: usefulness measured in real work. A Border Collie that could not manage sheep efficiently did not pass on its genes. A dog that hesitated, panicked, or lost focus under pressure was not preserved in breeding programs. Excellence was not theoretical, it was proven daily. And that relentless standard shaped a mind unlike any other in the canine world. Today, the Border Collie stands at a delicate threshold. Its brilliance is admired globally. Its athleticism is celebrated in sports arenas. Its intelligence is studied in laboratories. Yet admiration alone does not preserve function. The same intensity that allows a Border Collie to solve complex tasks, memorize vast command vocabularies, and anticipate livestock movement can unravel when confined to environments that provide neither challenge nor clarity. In households prepared to invest time, structure, and advanced training, the Border Collie becomes an extraordinary partner, thriving in agility, scent detection, competitive obedience, and even advanced service roles that require rapid cognitive processing. In households drawn primarily to its reputation without understanding its depth of need, imbalance can surface quietly and persistently. This is not a breed designed for passive companionship. It is a breed designed for collaboration. Its energy is not excess. It is stored potential. Its alertness is not anxiety. It is readiness awaiting direction. And when direction is absent, that readiness searches for meaning. The resolution of this story does not lie in discouraging appreciation for the breed. It lies in deepening it. Understanding the Border Collie requires acknowledging that intelligence carries responsibility, that focus requires outlet, that brilliance demands stewardship equal to its power.